Good evening, and welcome to the next series in my show, Herbal Medicine and the Magic of Herbs, or Herbology as I call it. My name is Tamara von Forslund, and tonight I'd just like to talk about magical classifications, especially on spiritual concepts. We always talk about herbal medicine, but we never talk much about the magic of herbs, of how it can work and use for us. One thing we always talk about is the aphrodisiacs. Well, even parsley is an aphrodisiac if you eat about 10 acres of it. But the fact is, you don't need to eat 10 acres of parsley to make an aphrodisiacal effect. Herbs which have been used to stimulate sexual desire, lust, or even promote arousal are given the classification of aphrodisiac. Some of these herbs that I'm going to mention are used through direct application to the sexual organs and may provide physiological results. Other herbs work upon the person's spiritual body, activating their centers, their chakras, stimulating mental images, or promoting a desire to seek union in the central arms of another soulmate. These herbs serve as aphrodisiacs. Their function is sexual stimulation. They should not be confused with the stimulation of love, sensuality, or romance. Aphrodisiacal herbs should be used with care, even though they are as common as the rose, for magically increasing sexual tension within oneself when there is no outlet may lead to frustration and problematic behavior. Again, using roses as an example, it is possible to work with roses in one's gardens, wear rose oil as a scent, and even use rose petals as a strewing herb without releasing the aphrodisiacal property of the herb. Intent and focus are among the primary control mechanisms available to the practitioner in any spiritual work. Aphrodisiacal herbs are well suited for increasing the primordial passion, the heathen passion in every pagan, which may be unlocked during the great rite. During this ritually consecrated act of intercourse and consummation between two elevated loving partners, the participants use disciplined mental images and visualization skills. They have developed adeptness in using invocatory energies to embody the polarities of the universe. So let's look at some of the aphrodisiac herbs. Blessed thistle, quhab, damiana, fern or mallee, ginkgo biloba, henna, sea holly, kava, lemon, mandrake, marshmallow, matago, mistletoe, orchid, patchouli, rose, geranium, saffron, savory, sesame, Solomon's seal, southernwood, false unicorn root, and vervain. The next category is counter magic herbs, that if you need to counteract something that's been sent or done to you. Many herbs are sent to you to serve a variety of functions, which seem archaic in today's modern 21st century world. But some herbs are said to repel witches, whilst others might turn back the evil eye. Today's practitioner is hopefully wiser in the mysteries of karma. The practice of using manipulative magic of force or force of others' lives to conform to one person's will was popular during the Middle Ages. But it is more likely that the majority of these superstitious practices arose out of fear and ignorance. Even today, in some cultures, one can find a person who will happily accept money in exchange for placing a spell upon another. How stupid. The human ego can often be vengeful. We hope that you will never need to use herb magic to remove some type of negative energy imposed upon you by another so-called magical person. Even if someone does you wrong, our recommendation is that you wish them karma and leave such lessons in the hands of the universe, for the goddess is far more qualified and powerful. Yet there can be many times in life when we find ourselves being affected by the energy created by another's emotions. One might receive a promotion and become the target of a co-worker's resentment, envy, or jealousy. How does one counter that destructive force? Well, by using counter magic herbs. Herbs are considered counter-magical because of established beliefs or practices based upon their ability to both protect the practitioner against the negation and to render that energy harmless, or with some other herbs, return it to its force or source. I myself prefer the magic mirror. Place a magical mirror around you and whatever is being sent to you is rebound back threefold. That's a little bit easier and simpler. Counter-magic herbs include agrimony, angelica, asafoetida, ash, avens, burnet or great burnet, century, daffodil, dodder, fennel, bracken fern, flax, fumitory, holly, hyssop, motherwort, pine, purslane, quince, rowan, rue, and vervain. The next category is fertility herbs. Well, the fertility of one's fields was an urgent matter in earlier times when the success of one's crops meant survival. Abundance of grains and foods meant enough to be sold in the market and ensuring continued survival. Failure meant debts, possibly incurring indenture, from which one could never escape. The fertility of one's womb or of one's groin was also a matter of survival in earlier times. Families were able to maintain the farm or business only if there were enough children born to overcome the high mortality rate. In earlier times, children meant labor, and labor was the way of life. Even today, we find many women subjected to pity and scorn because they have not borne children. Many fertility herbs have been associated with rituals of union and weddings, integrated into those rites to bring fruitfulness to the couple. Herbs that were used in fertility charms or said to make one's stock reproduce or were believed to help women conceive children are all listed as fertility herbs. Many of these herbs have established law associated with the fertility of a woman's womb, but each of us has many aspects in our lives which require that creative spark. Fertility herbs may be used to promote creativity in all aspects of our lives, such as bringing an idea into fruition. They are not limited just to the fruitfulness of procreation, but to the creation of new ideas, new businesses, new ventures. Fertility herbs include acorn, elder, aniseed, apple, ash, bamboo, barley, basil, sweet basil, kidney beans. For birth, cassia, catnip, chestnut, coconut, corn, mallee fern, fig, ginkgo biloba, grapes, hawthorn, lavender, mandrake, marshmallow, mistletoe, oak, olive, orange, orchid, rice, St. John's wort, stitchwort, vervain, and wheat. Funerary herbs, well, the herbs in this category have been associated with the death and burial customs of at least one culture. There are many herbs which are planted upon burial sites to bring blessings to the deceased and comfort to those left behind. There are herbs connected with funerals and rituals for the dead. There are herbs which have been used in connection with the death of a beloved. All are included under the heading funerary herbs. Herbs used to embalm a body which are placed in the corpse in a burial chamber are considered funerary herbs, as are those which are included in this classification. These are also herbs which help one understand the importance of dying as a natural function of life, and that can teach us about the mysteries of death and rebirth. The funerary herbs that many use are aconite, elder, aloe, amaranth, anise star, asphodel, banana, bush basil, sweet basil, bluebells, camphor, castor, chervil, cinnamon, cocoa, coconut, dragon's blood, elder, elm, hemlock, polyiris, mountain laurel, marigold, wild marjoram, marshmallow, myrrh, narcissus, deadly nightshade, parsley, periwinkle, rose, rosemary, sandalwood, sycamore, tansy, wild thyme, violets, and willow. Well, what we call green herbs, well, originally this category consisted of the obvious herbs, in other words, those where the green leaf was harvested and readily found in kitchen use, such as basil, dill, and oregano. The classification of green herbs has since expanded in the 21st century to include any herb or spice used to flavor food, which also has known magical or spiritual properties. So does this mean that any food seasoned with green herbs become magical? No, but the energy and the natural energy of these herbs is not put in motion without the cook's knowledge of true magic. Each herb is blessed by its devas, always invoked. The kitchen is transformed into a temple, an altar always ready. Excuse me. This domestic space is transformed into a ritual site, the chef working within the magic circle. Green herbs are the realms of the magical chef, who are able to bring such subtle blends of magic to a meal in many ways, which enhance those who partake of the food without allowing personal desires to interfere. The best uses of green herbs are those which draw upon the herbal magic in order to promote warmth and sociability, which encourage a gentle healing of body and soul for all present. There are green herbs reputed to bring about types of change, which should not be given magical power without your guest's approval. The wise magical chef does not play God, nor does they or do they attempt to work magic on their guests without their consent. Any magical chef who releases the magic of green herbs upon unwitting diners has targeted themselves for sharp lessons from the universe, such as karma. Most witches believe that it is inappropriate to manipulate another's life without that person's consent. There are many ways in which a cook may bring magic to a meal, even if you live with those who do not understand magic and your family is in need of some type of tonic for its budget. It is possible to use green herbs believed to stimulate the flow of resources, to tell your kinfolk that have made a special meal which will help all prosper. It is essential to remember that a herb does not make something happen so much as it stimulates change within a person, which alters the course of that person's life. Green herbs can be wonderfully fun. Imagine inviting your magical friends to a well-planned meal with a salad which will help their insight and memory, a soup which will keep them safe and protected in the journeys of life, and an entree which will promote friendship and conversation. Green herbs most generally are benevolent and gentle in their magic, and there are myriad of them. Here are just some of aniseed, sweet and bush basil, bay laurel, kidney bean, caraway, celery, chervil, cinnamon, cloves, coriander, corn, cranberry, cucumber, cumin, dill, endives, fennel, fenugreek, garlic, ginger, houseleek, potato, quince, rosemary, rue, saffron, savory, tarragon, thyme, turmeric, watercress, and wheat. The next category is consecrations, herbs of consecrations. Well, herbs of consecration are those which we can use to bless or consecrate. They assist in changing the natural energy, elevating it to a purer state of being. These herbs have a history of use in ceremonies, such as those selected by Solomon or those used for the religious rites of a particular culture. Many of these herbs are also known for their ability to bring purification, although that quality is not inherent in every herb of consecration. Herbs which have been used to consecrate any religious object, or which have been used in some manner to provide sacred energy for religious purposes, are considered herbs for consecration. Some herbs of consecration were placed in this category due to a history of use to seal or make permanent magical energy. Herbs used in magic to bring about transformation in a ritual tool, like from a knife to an athama, which assist in the blessing of a ritual item, also placed in this classification. These herbs assist in changing the energy of physical space, for they can be used to consecrate a temple or any sacred space, or the use the purpose of an object, removing it from the world of common, mundane usage and relegating it to the realm of the sacred. When consecrating an object, the herb should be brought into direct contact. There are many ways this can be done. Some of the herbs may be added to water, creating a herbal bathing solution into which the ritual object is immersed or asperged. Dried herbs may be burned upon charcoal and the object pass through the smouldering smoke. The very act of blessing often denotes applying words. And whilst words, phrases, or poems may be found in law, the majority of those found in modern texts are modern incantations. The practitioner is encouraged to explore all options, to seek out ancient incantations, to use those offered by modern authors, and to create original blessings. Herbs of consecration are known for their ability to bestow benevolent, empowering energy. They bring with them a positive energy, but it is more than positive. It is also an energy which brings change with it. For an item once consecrated is forever changed. The process of consecration should be approached in a serious manner. The claiming of an object from the mundane world, consecrating it for religious ritual, should be recognized as a sacred act, one that will forever change the purpose of that object. A crystal goblet consecrated for use as a ritual chalice will never again be an ordinary drinking vessel. Empowered through ritual with herbs of consecration, it has been touched by the gods, kissed by the goddesses, and should be given a secure future. Its magic guaranteed protection long into the future. Although a particular herb may have a singular use, such as the consecration of a chalice, it is my belief that a herb used to consecrate a sacred space may also be used in other acts of consecration. Herbs of consecration may be used in a variety of creative ways, either in the process of acquiring tools and ritually initiating them into a new life of magical use, or to consecrate your magic circle or even a person. There is a wide range of herbs for consecration, which include acacia, aconite, almond, angelica, aniseed, star anise, asafoetida, asphodel, balm of Gilead, sweet basil, broom, great bonnet, camphor, caraway, cedar, cherry, cinnamon, clover, dragon's blood, elfwort, flax, frankincense, fumitory, gum mastic, hellebore, hemlock, henbane, hyssop, ivy, lavender, lotus, marigold, marsh marigold, mistletoe, mugwort, mulberry, myrrh, nettles, deadly nightshade, olive, pimpernel, rose, rue, sandalwood, sweet sedge, Solomon's seal, tarragon, valerian, vervain, and watercress. If you're wanting to look at herbs of immortality, a herb given this classification can provide the practitioner an opening into the mysteries, which extend far into the depths of the universe. Herbs which have been used to keep one's spirit safe as it seeks rebirth, and herbs which bring an understanding of the very nature of eternity are classified as herbs of immortality. Many of these herbs are said to provide the practitioner with longevity. However, more important than the preservation of one's physical body, these herbs bring an understanding of the true nature of one's spiritual self. Through work with herbs of immortality, one can come to perceive the essence of that which transcends death and is the nature of spiritual being which will again incarnate upon the earth. Not all people believe in reincarnation, but most people have believed that there is a divine counterpart to the physiological self, and they can help you get to know that higher spiritual eternal self. Herbs of immortality are aconite, almond, amaranth, angelica, aniseed, apple, asclepias, asphodel, sweet basil, cassia, chervil, chrysanthemum, coriander, cypress, bracken fern, foxglove, heather, hemlock, honeysuckle, ivy, everlasting, mistletoe, myrtle, pennyroyal, periwinkle, primrose, red clover, sage, sandalwood, sunflower, tansy, vervain, violets, and willow. So now what everyone wants to know, herbs of love. Now, there are many herbs believed to help us dream of a soulmate and help bring that person into our lives. In researching herb lore, we learn of herbs which will make someone fall in love with you against their will. But who could be content holding someone spiritually captive, knowing that they are not with you because they want you? Herbs of love are connected with the mysteries surrounding love and romance, and those which are believed to bring a lover into one's life are more likely to bring about changes within one's own inner self. allowing us to be more lovable, more nurturing, more sensuous. Many of these herbs may seem harmless enough. However, using herbs of love in order to find romance and affection through another person is a process which surely begs the universe to carry us through the fires of transformation, growing and becoming mature, shedding the security of our emotional baggage, no matter how self-defeating, until we evolve into something desirable. We may work with these herbs to enhance a relationship which is already established. And many of these herbs are capable of reminding us of the reasons that we first fell in love and of the revitalization of the sparks of love and the romance in a relationship, which have become mired in the daily routines of life. There is a large list of herbs of love, and here is a few: alder, almond, wood anemone, aniseed, ash, balm, bush basil, bay laurel, birch, butternut, caraway, chestnut, cinnamon, crowfoot, demiana, maidenhair fern, hawthorn, hazelnut, hemp, heartsease, henna, houseleek, ivory, lavender, lovage, mandrake, marigold, sweet marjoram, wild marjoram, meadowsweet, mistletoe, orchid, patchouli, periwinkle, rose, rose geranium, skullcap, southernwood, thyme, vervain, and wormwood. Well, that's half of it anyway. Next time, in the next show, we're going to go on to more in-depth herbs, and we're going to talk about herbs of protection. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and stay blessed.